Hello, YouTube. This is my first time. Hello, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jamie Vallejo. I am a vision coach and the founder of My Greatest Love blog. I help kingdom visionaries with businesses harness the power of their talent, their identity, and value to propel that vision forward into the God-sized dream that God put into your heart. So today, I just wanted to share with you, Kingdom Visionary, are you struggling in the wilderness right now? So I wanted to share with you today a class I'm calling The Fastest Way to Clarity. As you know, clarity comes from within and not in the external world. So I understand what it's like to be in the wilderness, full of confusion, full of overwhelm, and fear of the unknown for your business. Not understanding what direction to take because all of the choices that I've made up until this point has actually got me to the dead end I'm experiencing now. It really can make us feel as if we can't trust ourselves in making decisions. But don't worry, Kingdom Visionary. I'm here today to help you gain clarity amidst the chaos. So we know the answer is from within. So have you been praying for more followers, more influence, more leads, more money, more time, hoping that it's going to get you out of the ditch you're in now? I mean, I understand what it's like to be praying and hoping for a breakthrough in any of these items, and then just getting crickets as it relates to a response from God. Isn't it crazy how our survival mindsets will kick in when we're in dire situations and they make us cling to the answer that we know has fixed our situation in the past? I mean, didn't money, didn't more leads, didn't more energy, didn't all of those things get us out of the ditch last time? So why can't we just pray and expect God to give us the same thing? If this is your situation, I want you to stay tuned and watch the video to the end for a new perspective. Trust me, slow down. I know that in this world of rush, it's so tempting just to keep going, but I promise you that if you listen, it could eliminate future years of being stuck in the wilderness. I mean, we know the Israelites, they were stuck for 40 years on their way to the promised land, which was only an 11-day journey. Okay, so I'm going to dive in. Here we go. Proverbs 4:11-12 tells us this. I instruct you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. So the definition of hampered means to interfere with the operation of, disrupt. So when we walk in his ways, our steps are not disrupted. It cannot be interrupted. So now let's go back to the first instruction. It says, I instruct you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths. If you have a roadblock of not enough money, of not enough leads, of not enough fill in the blank, then that's an indication that we're walking down the wrong path. See, this is a red flag telling us we need to abort the path and be redirected. So as we travel further down in Proverbs 4, it says, 26, verses 26 and 27, give careful thoughts to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Decline not to the right or not to the left. Turn away thy foot from evil. For the Lord knows the ways that are on the right hand, but those are perverse which are on the left hand. But he will make your courses straight, and he will bring forward your ways in peace. So Exodus 15:6 says, your right hand, O Lord, is glorious power, and your right hand smashes the enemy. So the right hand represents the closeness, authority, possession, honor, or power of God the Father. It is often associated with the throne of God's authority, might, and dignity. I don't know about you, but I want to be in that right hand. So Proverbs 3:6 says this: become intimate with him in whatever you do, and he will lead you wherever you go. He will cut a straight path before you. So the AMPC version of this verse replaces the word intimate with know, recognize, and acknowledge him. All right, so we're going to go back to Proverbs 4:26 through 27. I want to share this little diagram I have back here with you as it relates to this verse. Okay, so give careful thoughts to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Decline not to the right or to the left. Turn away thy foot from evil. For the Lord knows the ways that are on the right hand, but perverse are those which are on the left hand. But he will make your courses straight. He will bring forward your ways in peace. Okay, so I went ahead and put together this diagram here behind me. There we go. This is us, okay? And this is walking down the path, right? We're dreaming about our vision and bringing that to life, okay? But then from the left, there comes threat and menaces, right? Do not be moved. We're getting forces, right? Do not be moved by threats or menaces of your enemies. So Psalm 55:3 says this: I'm preoccupied with the threats of my enemies and crushed by the pressure of their opposition. They surround me with terror and trouble. In their fury, they rise up against me in an angry uproar. So, what I want you to think about, are there decisions that we are making in our businesses that are voices of the enemy, of threats and menaces? Could those be pushing us and swaying us from the direct path? All right, so from the right, we have flattery and empty promises. So do not be moved by flattery and empty promises of men. Proverbs 26:28 says this: a lying tongue hates those it wounds and crushes, and a flattering mouth works ruins. Psalm 55:20 says, I was betrayed by my friend, though I live in peace with him. While he was stretching out his hand of friendship, he was secretly breaking every promise he had ever made to me. So, a quick pause. Are there decisions that we're making in our business that are voices of flattery and empty promises? Are there relationships that we've accepted in our business as it relates to stakeholders, to partners, affiliates, where flattery and empty promises, a voice, had pushed us in another direction? Something to think about as we discuss our path to clarity. Okay, so now do not be moved by the crushing down of adversity. So obstacles set forth from Satan. So Psalm 55:4 says this: my heart is grievously pained within me, and the terrors of death have fallen upon me. Now, we know that the enemy, he loves to put obstacles in our way. So he's not going to put it on the side of us. He's not going to put it behind us. He's going to put it right in front of us because he knows he's going to block that blessing. He's going to put it right in front of the blessing in front of us. So as you think of that imagery, when we're making decisions in our business, are we focusing so much on the obstacles that that's forcing us to make decisions that could deter us from the path? Something to think about for a minute. All right, so fourth, do not be lifted up by the things of the world and what it can give. Okay, so we don't want to be elevated up with things which we could attain: wealth, influence, power, fame, more leads, whatever it is, fill in the blank. Okay, Philippians 2:3 says this: be free from pride-filled opinions, for they will only harm your cherished unity. Don't allow self-promotion to hide in your hearts, but in authentic humility, put others first and view others as more important than yourselves. So again, when we're making decisions about our business, are these things what we're trying to attain when we make our decisions and deterring us off the path? We are just trying to walk, and we have all of these forces coming and surrounding us, like fully surrounded. So, like, how are we supposed to walk down the path? How are we supposed to see the path, right? Um, 2 Corinthians 12:19 tells us this. But he answered me, my grace is always more than enough for you, and my power finds its full expression through your weakness. So I will celebrate my weaknesses, for when I am weak, I sense more deeply the mighty power of Christ living in me. So if you are a kingdom visionary and you have a God-sized dream, this is a little bit of an insight into that path to elevate that vision and get it soaring off the floor. So we want to tap into that resurrection power. So clearly, 2 Corinthians 12:9 tells us that our weaknesses are a pathway, right? For when I'm weak, I sense more deeply the mighty power of Christ living in me. Okay, so that's one scripture I wanted to share with you to give you a little bit of insight into tapping into that resurrection power, which is coming up in just a week. Easter, we will be celebrating it. Proverbs 18:10 also tells us the character of God is a tower of strength. For the lovers of God delight to run into his heart and be exalted on high. So part of moving towards God is running into his heart. I love the way that scripture says that, to be exalted on high. So what I wanted us to think about in the beginning of this, before this class, we've been praying for followers, money, influence, all the things, right? And what I'm hoping that this class is helping you see, it helped me see, is that when we recognize that he is more powerful than all the forces coming up against us, that there is no amount of money, influence, lead, followers, energy, fill in the blank, that could ever overcome this. All we need is him. Proverbs 4:11 says this: God will instruct us in the way of wisdom. He will lead. I don't know about you, but God has let me know that he doesn't need my advice on what is needed to get this vision lifted off the ground. I mean, he reminded me that he was God, and he was pretty capable of some mind-blowing ideas. He let me think about it for a minute. What would it look like if I laid down my own ideas and I actually implemented his ideas? So recognizing our heart posture behind our prayers is like the key to helping us get closer to the light at the end of the tunnel. What if instead we prayed what King Solomon prayed when he realized his God-sized dream was way bigger than him to fulfill? So say this prayer with me. God, give me the wisdom and knowledge in my heart to do the thing that you called me to do that pleases you and serves the people you called me to serve. I promise you, if your heart is pure and full of expectancy, you will get the next step. Do you want more? Great, I have more. Actually, next week, I'm going to be teaching a Zoom class entitled The Quickest Way to Clarity Next Steps, where we're going to be diving deeper into business strategies for kingdom visionaries by studying the greatest kingdom that ever reigned. We will be studying King Solomon's blueprint and the key principles he implemented to have a successful kingdom vision come to life. Join me as we uncover these biblical strategies that will be a game changer for your business, propelling you forward to your next great leap. You can sign up in the link in the comments, and I will see you then, beautiful visionary.